Everything we once knew is gone. We've become drifters, roaming the wastelands, scouring the wreckage for something to hold on to, searching for someone to light the way forward.
Good evening, campers, and welcome to Surviving the Aftermath. I'm Commander Exorcist, and we're going to be playing through Paradox Interactive's Surviving the Aftermath. This is a post-apocalyptic city building simulator, survival colony builder game. Yeah, it was actually so this game was developed by a studio called Ice Flake Studios. And the reason I call this Paradox's simulator is because they were recently absorbed by Paradox. And so this game falls under the Paradox catalog at this point. And so I wanted to kind of throw out a few notes about Surviving the Aftermath before we actually get started with our playthrough. So we're going to be playing through as much as I can. This is basically the first video for my new channel. So this is my secondary channel. My primary channel, which is Commander Exorcist, is all space-based. So it's pretty much all space-related video games: Elite Dangerous, Stellaris. And so in this channel, it's going to be everything else. And so I'm a big fan of strategy games, real-time strategy, turn-based, and city builders, survival games, stuff like that. And so this game, from what I can tell, it didn't get a lot of traction. It's relatively new, but I really enjoyed it. And for anyone who has ever seen or played Surviving Mars, which is a space-based colony building simulator, also from Paradox, you will recognize a lot of the UI, user interface, things in this game. It borrows a lot of ideas from Surviving Mars, especially the user interface, some of the gameplay loop, and some of the other things that happen in this game are very closely related to how Surviving Mars is put together. Also, there are some little Easter eggs and stuff in this game related to Surviving Mars, because this does form part of a series that I think Paradox was trying to go for with Surviving Mars, Surviving the Aftermath. They were working on one called Surviving the Abyss. It is January 2024, and no update on that game has been given in a very long time, and I don't see that game being finished anytime soon. It would be nice to. I really like what I've seen, but for now, we're stuck with Surviving Mars and Surviving Aftermath. So what we got here is, this is takes place after an unnamed apocalypse has ruined the Earth, and with a small band of settlers that are going to try to reclaim the wasteland. And so that's what we're going to be doing today. My playthroughs, if you've ever seen a Commander Exorcist playthrough, my playthroughs are not min-maxed. I don't do any of that stuff. Very chill, very relaxed, very low threat, low key playthroughs. And I try to add a little bit of a story, a little bit of drama to our adventures. We're going to play a specific colony. I have a seed map. So the cool thing about Surviving the Aftermath is you can actually copy the seed number from your map. And so the maps are randomly generated by a seed number, and if you'd like the map you're playing on, you could copy that seed number and actually play that map over and over again, or share it with your friends or whatever. And so we're going to be playing a special seed map that I really enjoyed playing recently. And so our colony is called Silver Lake, and we are going to do our best to reclaim the wasteland in the name of peace and prosperity as we try to survive the aftermath. I'm Commander Exorcist, and let's get started. Now, each game starts with this kind of fade into your settler, and so every game starts with a single colonist. Now I'm going to pause for a little bit so we could talk a little bit about the interface, kind of what we're going to be doing. So you start off with a settler. And so the point of it is to kind of set up. Now, if you'll take a look here, this user interface is almost identical to Surviving Mars. You've got your build menu down here, radio station selection, science. This is the control center, which here is just called statistics. So, it's a lot of stuff. This was Sol's. In Surviving Mars here, it's just days, and your controls are identical. So, we are dropped into a region of ruin, and we can't see much. There's kind of like a fog of war. This will open up significantly once we actually found our colony, because right now what we've got is like this little area here. Well, we've got a couple of piles of resources here, which is nice. All of the games in Surviving the Aftermath start on this road, but this is all, randomly generated. And then we have a world map that we can go out to, and there is Silver Lake. This is our colony. So we are on the edge of our lake here. And so the rest of the world is shrouded in devastation and mystery. There's all kinds of crazy stuff up here that we're going to be able to explore with our specialists. And so that will come at a later time. But to get started, I don't know what they're called in Surviving the Aftermath. I know that in Surviving Mars, they're called prefabs, but we are given a series of prefabricated buildings to get started. The first thing we need to do is put down a campsite. I always put, and I'm not sure if, like I said, I'm not a min-maxer. I'm not sure if this is the appropriate way to do this, but I always put my campsite fresh up against my gate, because it's kind of the center of the colony, and it is the place where I want people to go first when they get here. So I kind of put it up right here in the front of the settlement. Now that we have constructed our campsite, it has opened up another section of the map, and you can see there's plenty of resources around here. We're going to be able to exploit all of this. Can't wait. And there's even more. So we've got some ruined cities here, and so even beyond that, we're going to find more and more resources. All this water, we're going to be able to start exploiting those water resources as well, which we're desperately going to need. So now we have a changed icon. We are waiting on our colonists to arrive, but I like to go in, like I said, we get some prefabricated buildings. So we get some tents, and I am going to try my best to build with a sense of kind of purpose for our colony. Want to build with a sense of focus for the future. We are given 2 tents, a food storage, a stockpile, and a water collector. So anytime you start, at least with kind of the basic story for this game, you start with those freebie items. And I want this to just be one away. There we go. And then food storage should go next to it. That right there. And then our water collector. Sometimes you may get very lucky and not have a water source near you. So we got very lucky with our setup here, and we do have a water source. So let's see if I can get a better efficiency out of it. I don't think so, though. So I think 77 is the best we're going to be able to do. And that's it. Let's let our buildings be dropped. And before we call our colonists, got one more thing I want to show you. So we call up the interface here. And like I said, you're probably going to recognize a lot of this from Surviving Mars. It's very familiar with the information for the building or the colonists that you're working with, different options. But one of the really awesome design decisions about this game is, so let's take our food storage. So our food storage is up here, by the front gate. Well, a lot of our food is back here, all over the place. There's some berries here. So this is kind of your basic food gathering. There's also hunting cabins that we're going to build, but I don't want to build food storage around all of these. So what you can do is click move work storage area and just move your work storage area out here. And so now it's going to, these guys are going to go over here and work these areas. Same thing for these resources. I want these wood piles. And so now the storage area here is going to work to dismantle these 2 wood piles. And it'll go the same for the recycle center and pretty much any manufacturing or work items in this game. You can move the work area around. So it really doesn't matter where you build your buildings as long as you can move the work area to a place that's reasonable to get started. So, but anyway, that's enough with kind of the intro.
Survivors waiting for a signal from the settler. They are cold and hungry, yet willing to work should the colony take care of them.
And we're going to shoot the flare, and we'll take a minute or so, in just a few seconds probably. We will have our colonists arrive, and Silver Lake is born. It helps if you unpause the game, by the way. We'll get another splash screen telling us that our colonists have arrived. They don't just show up at the front gate. There we go.
Your first
They are here.
We've reached a milestone.
Now, we've reached a milestone, but we've got a problem. We've got 6 colonists that don't have a place to live. That's okay. We're going to build 2 more tents. We also have to start building other production items, and one of those is going to be the recycler. So we pretty much cannot live without a functional recycler. And just a few other things that we're going to start working on. And we'll build a lumber yard. Actually, we can collect wood for now. There's a few things that we absolutely, desperately need to build. One of those is the recycler. One of those is the medical tent. Those are pretty much non-negotiable starting items. You have to have a medical tent and a recycler. Because your colonists are going to get sick. You need plastic to be able to build new things. So these are what I would consider mandatory items. All right, we've already got a tent going up over here. That's nice. And we built a well. So water production in this game is it's not too difficult. We've got water selection, which actually I probably should have put the water collector over here. I don't know why I put it back here on this one. But our water collector, which is way back here because I wasn't paying attention, we'll collect water, and then our well over here will collect water once we've gathered enough plastic. All right. Now our recycler has the same problem. It needs to have its materials, its workspace moved. And so there we go. All right. So our medical tent is going up. And that covers some very, very important first steps in building things. So once we have our water production and our medical tent up, we will start building the gate, because the gate is what's going to open up the rest of the game to us. We cannot survive without the gate because we're going to be bombarded by attacks from other settlers. And plus, having the gate is what allows us to go out to other parts of the world and experience it and be able to cash in on those resources, because without the gate, there's no way for us to basically do anything else. We're stuck here. And so our technology research is going to come from exploring the wasteland. Okay, so nobody is homeless at this point. We have started our journey to becoming fully functioning, fledging colony. So we're gonna whoops, I didn't mean to do that. All right. So one of the cool things about aesthetics for this game is that roads are free. So thankfully, roads cost nothing to build. So we can just set up roads till our heart's content. One of the small kind of features you'll see, especially in this playthrough, is you'll see these Chinese lanterns around. There is seasonal content for this game for Halloween and the Chinese Lunar New Year. And so I really like the Lunar New Year aesthetic, the Chinese lanterns and a couple of other decorations that come with it. So for Silver Lake, we are running seasonal content for the Chinese Lunar New Year. And there goes our well. Excellent. Going up. As you can see here, especially at night, is when we really get the full effect of the Chinese lanterns. Okay, so we're finally producing a decent amount of water, which let's go ahead and build a secondary. There we go. We got one at 100% efficiency. That's good. And then the last thing I want to build are 2 outhouses. And I build those, usually I build those here in the corner, over by the gate. And I think we have enough, or we should be close to having enough to be able to build all of that. Our road is coming along. So, and like surviving Mars, you have to have like your colonists doing work. So you have a combination of workers. So there are workers assigned to production here in the recycler, and then you have workers that are committed to just being carriers. So you can have too many workers inside the different facilities, but not have enough to do carrier work. So later on, there'll be times where we'll kind of have to balance between, people working in inside the buildings versus working out and about carrying resources. So these are coming along, though, looking good. All right, so we've got an outhouse completed. And what are we waiting on? Wood? How is our wood collection go? Oh. Collection going. Okay. All right, the water collector's going up. Almost done. So let's go ahead and start work on the gate. And yes, insufficient materials, of course, because we need 190 wood and 175 plastic to be able to build this thing. So, all right. Our water, and now I remembered there's one more thing I wanted to build because of the potential for catastrophe early on. Come on, what's not clicking? There we go. So let's set a priority for this water storage, because one of the disasters I tend to run into very early on in this game is heat wave. And so you'll have, as we play, there's going to be various natural disasters that will hit our colony. Heat waves, toxic storm, a couple other things, meteors crashing, all those, and so we want to be prepared for a lot of those. The heat wave is pretty easy to take care of as long as you have enough storage, clean water storage, to support your colony. You should be fine, but still, it's something I should have done first. But now we've got two different projects kind of fighting for resources. And speaking of meteors, so there are, at the time of recording this, January of 2024, there are 3 DLC for this game: Shattered Hope, New Horizons, I believe it's called, and Rebirth. I have all 3 installed, but I am running only 2 of them. I'm running everything except Shattered Hope. I love the aesthetics of Shattered Hope. It's about the moon breaking apart, and chunks of the moon fall down to Earth, and you're able to mine them for bonuses to run your buildings a little bit faster. But it also comes with some really unusual mechanics that add this like trauma sense to some of your colonists. And also, in my opinion, it clashes with some of the morality and the happiness mechanics that we already have here. So if we look here, you can see like the welfare and the comfort. And I think it just kind of clashes. So I don't typically run Shattered Hope because it just creates too much conflict between the various mechanical systems in the game. All right, so we've got enough wood, which means hopefully our colonists will start delivering. There we go. So we're starting to see some deliveries to our gate as well. And if you click, so like if you have something that's pending, say this water collector, if I click on it, the colonist that is working on it will actually turn blue. So you can see from a simple click who's working on what. Is there anybody working on anything? See this guy, he is actually assigned and is working the water collector. Nobody at the moment is doing anything with the gate, which is fine. Nobody at the moment is doing anything with the water storage, but that's because we're waiting on our people to do recycling. And let's actually put another person in recycling so that we can boost those numbers. road a little bit more. To give some of our idle colonists something to do.
Not everybody is equally
Oh
skilled.
no. Oh no. So we have a so we had a tent that was poorly put together. This is a pretty common early issue. I've assigned somebody to repair it. Hopefully oh, there's no plastic. There's no plastic to repair it. There we go. Looks like somebody finally pulled some plastic out. What are they going to do with it? Okay, good. They're going to drop it in the storage. Somebody else is going to come pick it up, right? We're not just going to let this tent burn down, are we? Come on, people. I mean, it's totally within the realm of possibility for this colony to just let this tent burn down. I think somebody's coming. I think somebody's coming. There we go. Oh, that's okay. That wasn't enough. Oh man, we're in trouble. I don't think they're gonna make it. There's 12. Why? Now, don't worry about these people walking around. These are our specialists. So they don't do anything except defend the colony. So if we get attacked by let's pause that for a moment, please, and go save the tent. The specialists won't do anything inside the colony unless we're being attacked. So did it stop burning down? Is that what happened? It's at 6. It hasn't gone any further down. That's good. I guess if they hadn't put any resources into it. There we go. Okay. So we can resume construction on our water storage because our tent is going to be repaired. Well, that's one of the challenges of early game, not having a lot of resources, because if we didn't have the resources, the tent would have completely burned down and we would have had to rebuild it. Okay, looking good on the gate. Water production. So we'll build at least 4 of these, but we'll wait till after the gate is done. There's a few things we're going to build once the gate goes up, including our trappers and other things that we need to manufacture our food supply. All right, so we've got our clean water storage. And so, just like in Surviving Mars, our resources are up here at the top in various locations. Water, so this would be water, or this would be oxygen, water, so, and various things on Mars. Well, here we have our water storage. So we have a storage of 800, which is good. It would get us through a heat wave, I would think. Energy, we won't be producing electricity for a long time. And then food comes in a variety of things. It is just shown as food in general, but you can have plant-based nutrition and meat, and then we will build eventually what's called a cookhouse that will let us combine our plant and our food-based materials and make meals. So we'll be able to cook healthy meals for our colonists, because if we don't do something like that, eventually our colonists will become malnourished, and we'll start to have some health and sanity and happiness penalties for that. So we got our folks out here building roads. So Silver Lake coming along. Oh, yeah. So, we got plenty of wood here. And we got plenty of wood resources to collect. It's just going to get a little tricky when we get around these pollution deposits, because it can make your colonists sick. We have our medical tent. We're prepared to deal with it. But eventually we're going to build a lumber yard that will start, or a logging camp, basically, that will go out and start cutting down trees, giving us a better option for wood supply. How are we doing up here? All right, 134 wood, 76 on the plastic. We are moving along. And our outhouses. So our outhouses provide kind of a sanitation bonus. Keeps our colonists clean, but it does produce pollution. So over time, we'll have to come over here and kind of clean and repair these. Day 2. Nice. We averaged about 5 sols per episode on my main channel with Surviving Mars, so I wonder if we'll see something similar here with this game. Possibly 5 days per episode, which is, you know, manageable. You can get a lot done in this game in 5 days. We have a research tree. The research tree for this game is a little weird. I'm not a big fan of how it's set up. It's a little difficult to read. But you've got community, safety, new alliances. New alliances, that's the name of the DLC, not horizons. Food. And so everything's kind of broken down. So you really have to decide, you know, what is it that you want to do? You know, so we're going to start basically with stuff like this, like centralized repairs, to try to work up to concrete scavenging, because you can't get concrete. And then we'll be working up to communal eating. And then, let's see here, we'll also need frontier outposts, because frontier outposts are how we're going to kind of build our legacy in terms of getting science points, because we can't even research anything until we have science points, and they can only be found on the world map. So we need our gate so that we can send our specialists to the world map so that we can get science points to research and make our colony better. So it's a cascading system. It's a little frustrating at times. I wish there was a local way to build research, like maybe a middle game research center or something. But from what I've seen and what I've been able to play in this game, it's all or nothing on the world map. Someone's stealing planks. Really?
Someone seems to have been stealing wood from the storage.
Oh, some
A few
kids.
colonists go to investigate.
Some kids stole some
forbidden
wood.
tech-
We're going to leave it alone, though. And everybody's happy. Some kids stole some wood to build a fort. Can't believe it. We're not that heartless. We're going to let the kids have their fun. So, besides, I mean, 18 wood, that's nothing. We'll get that back in a minute or so. But looking good here. Everything is peaceful at the moment. And we will have our gate here very soon. 155, 110. Let's take a look around and see what we got. So we've got small pollution deposits. We've got a couple of little lakes here. And we've got kind of our main, we've got a river here. So we've got these big pollution deposits here. We've got a ruined house and a couple of other, a ruined barn, some trash. So then a lot of this will be coming down as we progress and clear out. I'm trying to decide. I think we'll clear this out, and then this area will probably. So this is going to be housing. So we'll probably build all our housing over here. And then this doesn't look very good. We'll have to see what the overlay says when we go to build farms, because farms are going to be our saving grace. We need farms for food. That's going to be our best way of collecting food resources. So we'll look at that. Right. These are looking good on the gate. So 182, 146. We'll have our gate here in no time. All right, so we got our wood. We have all the wood that we need. Let's see here, scout tower. Okay, that needs 15. Scout towers are how we expand our awareness of the wasteland. So we'll be building scout towers at the edge, and there's a little bit of a trick to using scout towers.
We've reached a milestone.
Oh, we've had a little baby born, and that means we need another 10. Well. I don't know why we ended up with new decorations for that, but I'll take it. So the baby is homeless now. Okay. And these are cool, these dual lanterns and stuff. You can kind of build kind of like street lights. So if we really want to get into waste pile's about to blow. Come on. Somebody got injured. Ray's working? Okay. Let's make that a priority, because our gate will be done here. Some food appears rotten. Throw it out. Of course, we don't want to keep rotten food. We're not that desperate at the moment. I think I messed up our ability to make these even. I think I did. Yep, I did. All right. It's always something. So I'll build the next one here and here. And we'll put something else. Maybe we'll put water storage or something there. There's somebody. Is that person wearing a fox face or a bear face or something? For real?
So baby Noah, who was recently born in the colony, won't be homeless after this. Because, you know, that's here we are. 162. We're almost there. Can't wait. Oh, we're one short? Really? Okay, we'll take it. One short of what we needed to build the gate. And so you'll notice that for the tents, you get a minor happiness penalty. So even though people are living and they have shelter, they're not happy with the tent that they live in. And there's the last piece of plastic we're going to need for the gate. So eventually we'll be able to research shanties and houses. Shanties are really cool because they're basically repurposed RVs. I really like the design of the shanties. And you can upgrade them to where they don't bring a happiness penalty. So can't wait for that turn of events here at Silver Lake. And there it is, the last pieces that we needed for our gate. We have 3 workers that are currently available. So hopefully they will come over and get started here very soon. Or maybe not. Of course, it is nighttime, so they may not come over yet. They may want to hang out and get some sleep. Yep. Mm-hmm. Calling this Noah. He's walking. There's Noah, who was just born, but he's already up and running around and helping out. So that works. And finally, my friends, the gate is underway. So thankfully, well into episode 1 here at Silver Lake, we will have our gate and be able to begin the process of truly exploring this desolate wasteland. I'm not even sure. I don't even know what happened. Like, I'm not even sure the full story of exactly what happened. I know this is like an aftermath of a nuclear war or something, or some kind of nuclear accident, or some kind of biological, radiological something. It's not explicitly explained, at least in the intro. So I know there are quests in this game to try to figure out what happened, and I've never really completed them, so that may actually be one of the challenges we undertake in this playthrough, is to try to figure out what happened. Why? What is this an aftermath of? What are we surviving from? Okay, wood deposit is depleted. So I got 56 left on that one, so we'll leave it there. Here we go. I think there's a splash screen and a brief message, but I can't remember.
Congratulations. You've rebuilt the gate and gained access to the world map. The gate is now open, and the vast world stands ready for your specialists to explore. This process.
So
We've reached a milestone.
basically, the gate gives us access to the rest of the map. And now that we've built a gate, it also... Oh, by the way, there's our colony logo. So you get to pick your colony logo and information. And so ours is purple.
There are survivors in the gate.
See? Here we go. So now that we built the gate, it's going to attract attention. A combination of survivors wanting to join us and raiders wanting to come in and take our stuff.
A ragged bunch shuffles slowly towards the gate.
So we will gain a scientist
and we'll gain 8 adults, 4 children, and all of these supplies. So we're going to take them in,
We've reached a milestone.
and that is awesome. So I'm typically okay with taking in the first couple of batches of new colonists. There may come a time when we have to say no. We cannot afford it, but at the moment, we certainly can afford them because they brought enough materials for us to be able to build supplies to keep them alive. Ah, see, so I do have room for water storage. I think I might have room for 2 of these. Nope, only 1. Okay, that's fine. Go with that. Cool. 10 colonists are homeless. 10 are homeless. So, I need 1 more. Let's see what this does to the population. That's 12. So that's 12. So, or no, that's 9. But we already had. Okay. Okay, yeah, we're gonna need another tent. Do we have the space? I think so. The tree's making it a little difficult. Yep. All right. Cool. We have kind of our little tent city underway. Nice. Wow, we grew considerably just in that little time frame. Now for production, the logging camp. So it is the lumber yard that goes out. That's just kind of strange how they label some of these. So our lumber yard's going to go here, right up front, or right at the crossroads, basically. So nobody is homeless after this, I think.
There's
We
a new
find-
quest available.
Yeah, colonist Marcus, who's building his own house at the moment, which is, all right, the urban occult.
With large-scale food industry in ruins and diseases running rampant, major cities were eventually evacuated or abandoned.
So we have various quests that are going to pop up, and some of these quests we're going to undertake regardless of whether the game wants us to. But you'll see, like, so we'll get the quest,
With large-scale
and then you'll see, so here it is. And the thing with the quests is you got to be careful because visiting here, we run the risk of running into like bandits and stuff in places like this. But here we have a city that is like glowing. You see like the toxic fumes coming off of it. That means that you're going to get damaged. So your specialist will take damage when they visit it because it's a polluted area. Now we're going to send our new specialist, just came here to the world map. Okay. And so here she is.
All right.
And the game has action points, kind of like XCOM. So you can only move your person so far before they need to wait a little bit for their action points. See, there's 2. So you have to wait a little bit for their action points to regenerate. A lot of this stuff here, though, is very close. We're going to go ahead and take advantage of the 500 science points that we have there. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And let's go ahead and start with our research. So like I said before, we've got some very specific things that we need to research. And that is going to be start with centralized repairs, metal scavenging, basically going across to concrete. Actually, I take that back. Where is farming? So let's do this. Let's do basic farming first, and then we're gonna do this this research line. And I do like the queue system though, because I can just set these things up in the queue and it will research automatically. You'll see it up here in the corner of the screen once we get enough science points. So let's go with that. And our specialist, we'll keep our specialist out here as long as we can, because she doesn't run out of health unless she gets attacked. And so we'll use her to expand and explore some of this stuff. And then I think once we get another specialist, we'll send them down there to visit that city. For now, we're going to keep building our colony. Let's keep working on our productivity, because these are looking good. Why are we not happy? What's wrong with people? Yeah, I noticed we're all hungry. Not everyone likes the food we're creating. So let's go ahead and start with cutting down the immediate trees, because we know we're going to build that into our tent city, and it's better to cut those trees down and get those resources than to let it all go to waste. Okay, so for food, we've got trappers. And our trappers are... So can we fit those right here? So I'll build a couple of these. Oh, you know, I knew... I'm going to tear this down. I knew that seemed a little off. So... recycler. I knew the recycler seemed like it was off a little bit. Yep. So then we build our trapper. So our trappers are going to be, they're the ones that are going to send into the woods, and they're going to trap food for us. So they'll be part of our food production. We'll also build a fishing pier here, so that we'll have a variety of food resources. But for now, we just really want to focus on getting this stuff up and running, especially getting our recycler back up and running. And on just kind of a technical note, I don't know why, but you'll see our colonists are kind of just walking around real slow. They do that occasionally. They're not, there's nothing wrong with them. It's sometimes, I don't know if it's something with the engine for this game or what, but they'll just move very slowly like that. Like they're struggling, but they're not. So, it's a visual thing, I think, more than anything. Got our enforcer up here, Sebastian. All right, there's our blue colonist coming out to rebuild our recycler. And there's our researching centralized repairs. You can see that at the top. And centralized repairs is awesome because it's going to unlock the maintenance building. And we'll build a maintenance building, and we can make quick repairs to any building in our colony pretty quickly. So definitely a critical item to have. Move our work area back where it was. And we've got our trapper going up. Let's build some roads down here. Down to our outhouse, which we'll build a couple more of those here in a few minutes. And so this is where it gets a little bit tricky, at least initially, when you're trying to create food, because the trappers need forests. Well, I also need forests to cut them down for resources. So we typically send our trappers off to one side and our loggers on the other. But it is nice because I can send both of these trappers into this forest, and they'll both get the same efficiency bonus. So there's not like a penalty for it, which is nice. Got a couple of colonists that are irradiated. Melinda's been playing in the toxic waste. She needs to cut that out. See how many, so we've got 2 shelters, so we'll probably build some more shelter here pretty soon, or we might wait until we get our next batch of refugees that want to come in, because they seem to be bringing resources with them. I accidentally clicked off that guy and fired our woodcutter. So we had an extra person I wanted to add to that. So if I can help it, I'd like to keep 2 in the lumberyard and 2 in the recycle center at all times.
We've made a new discovery.
All right. And we have our maintenance depot, which is really a really cool building. Yes, I know we don't have the resources for it. That's okay. All right, so Specialist is ready for action. That means that she has completely drained this area of the resources that it had. So we'll send her down here that she can get the tools and stuff from this city, and possibly any other surprises that may be waiting. And milestones. I just wish this game had a way to move things, because I messed this one up too. I didn't put it close enough to the road. That is so frustrating. And I really want this done a very specific way. So, that's all good. We'll leave it alone for now. We may end up demolishing that and putting something else there, since it is at a crossroads. Once the forest here starts to disappear and we need to move it further away. Kind of surprised at how much we're hurting for. Oh, well, that explains it. We haven't been collecting wood. We've, there we go. Now we got a bunch of people running. And we're almost finished researching metal scavenging, which is an extremely valuable resource to have. Colony scouts have found something. A little too far and too carelessly. Okay. Nice. And cars are no joke. Like, cars are a legit thing. You can actually, we can actually get cars in this game. And so instead of our specialists walking around the wasteland, they can have cars, which is a really cool thing. And you can also see, the green line here as it moves around the world. That's an indicator that our specialist is rebuilding their action points. So it's kind of a quick visual way to see what's going on. Now, I did a little bit of an intro to this video, which will probably make this run over a little bit longer than I normally make my playthroughs, which is about an hour. Almost, I try to keep it at about an hour exactly. Give or take a few minutes. But since this is an initial episode, I had to do a little bit of a kind of a sharing on what this game actually is. So we're almost done with metal scavenging. I think once we get to metal scavenging, we'll pause it and be done for the day, or we'll at least start construction on our metal scavenging, our metals shop.
We've made a new discovery.
All right. Okay, so that totally, I'm just realizing that skipped the changes that I made. Because I wanted to make, I wanted us to have farming, but I guess it took my resource stuff first. So anyway, and there's going to be our metals scavenger, but we're going to stop it there. I think that's going to call it for today, day 1 or day 5 for episode 1 here in Silver Lake and Surviving the Aftermath. And we're just opening up, just getting to the point where we're opening up the map and learning a little bit about what's going on, what's out there, and what is to come. So I hope that you'll stick with me, and there are more episodes to come. Can't wait to see what happens as we dive into the world of Surviving the Aftermath and see what happens here at Silver Lake. I'm Commander Exorcist. Take care, fly safe, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Good night.